Hello, welcome to FootyWit podcast. My name is Ehis Anthony, and we're here to talk about football, like we love doing. Always talking about football, and I'll be rolling alone on today's episode. The regular guys are not around for obvious reasons. Everybody has got one or two things to do, so I'll be on the episode alone today, and I hope I'll be able to carry the weight, but. Like we always do, we just love talking about football. Starters, like we always do on FootyWit podcast, we don't support racism in football. Football is the game that we love. We love football and we don't want any sort of racist abuse. That's why we start the episode with this, saying no room for racism. We are not in support of it and we stand by the cause. So, straight up, we were here. We'll be doing a preview of the Euro 2020. This is episode 2. We had episode 1 last week, myself and Okwe and Chimamaka. But, the second episode continues, so we'll be previewing the Euro 2020. And we've seen a whole lot of games that have gone down, interesting games. For instance, yesterday, Portugal, Germany. It was, I think for me, the most interesting game thus far. Looking at that game, a whole lot of football players, stars on the pitch. Ronaldo, getting closer to beating that highest goal scoring record from the other player. I've forgotten his name. Apologies for that. But Ronaldo scored his 107th goal yesterday. For country alone, 107, and it was emphatic. It was really, really, really emphatic. So today we'll be looking at topics surrounding. We'll just be looking at stories, picking up reactions from Euro 2020 off and on the pitch, and we'll be talking about Eriksen today, or I will be talking about Eriksen, and also react to the off the pitch issue that happened in the presses, Ronaldo's press conference, and also Pogba's press conference. And we watch English football very much. We all know on the podcast here we review the EPL weekly. When the EPL season was on, we did weekly review of the games. And in this part of the world where we are, Nigeria, Africa, we watch the English football most compared to other leagues around the world. English football comes first. I watch other leagues as well, but English league is the number one, numero uno, before other leagues comes after. Before we now say, okay, we want to watch other leagues. For example, I watch the Spanish league, I watch the Italian league as well, but English football is the English league comes first. I don't know what love or what made that to stick, but we have a whole lot of massive audience in Nigeria and also in Africa. So it's I'm not happy with seeing the Three Lions, the performance in the Euro 2020 thus far. I'm not that happy. Yes, they got 3 points in the first game against Croatia, but against Scotland, we saw what happened. It was all doom and gloom. So I'll be reviewing that as well, and also a bit of talking points here and there. Like I mentioned earlier, Germany Portugal was an insane match. We saw what happened today a few hours ago. Italy beating Wales, and also Switzerland beating Turkey 3-1. And with that group finishing, Italy 9 points, Wales 4 points, Switzerland 4 points. We'll wait for the other teams because we know 24 teams has been shrunk or will be reduced into 16 for the round of 16. So 8 will have to go, and there will be best qualifiers. So right now Switzerland will be, fingers crossed, hoping that their performance thus far will gain them qualification to the next round. So we move straight. Eriksen. See, this is the best news I heard this week, because having seen what happened last week, everybody was kind of like, we talked about it in the episode 1 of the Euro 2020 preview on our podcast. Okwe mentioned, and I asked that question, that will Eriksen be able to play football again? But in the course of the week, we got a very, very good news that he was discharged from the hospital after going through surgical operation with an ICD being inserted. The procedure, actually, ICD standing for interplanted. Sorry, let me try and get the. So let me don't mince words here. Let me just get the correct acronym for the ICD. I know I saw it a couple of minutes ago before. Yeah, implanted cardiovascular defibrillator. Wow. So Eriksen is preparing to be fitted with an implanted cardiovascular defibrillator following the horrific incident that shook the footballing world, which I mentioned. And the question was, will he be able to play football again? And we've heard so many analyses, so many people have come out to talk about what happened, because we've seen this kind of ugly incident happen initially to footballers in the past. Mark Vivian Foe, may so rest in peace, he didn't survive it during the Confederations Cup. I don't know, that was in 2003. We saw what happened to Fabrice Muamba as well, and ever since then Fabrice Muamba have not been able to play football again. Another one happened to Cheick Tiote. I don't know if it's similar to what happened to Eriksen, but he also slumped on the pitch and he's no more, may so rest in peace. And Danny Blind for the Netherlands that come out to back Eriksen up, that hey, you guys, slow down on this verdict, saying Eriksen might not be able to play football again. So Danny Blind offered an encouraging Christian Eriksen verdict and suggests that he may play football again, which is good news to the ears of everybody, because such a fantastic player at the age of 28. We've seen what he has done while he was in Copenhagen, starting his football there, to when he moved to Ajax, and from Ajax he moved to Tottenham, even though they are noisy neighbors in London. I know I'm an Arsenal fan, and it's been good for Eriksen. And when he moved to Inter Milan, winning the Scudetto with Inter Milan in this past season, they're saying such a footballer not to be able to play football again will be sad for any football lover around the world. But it's good that we're hearing this from Danny Blind, because he too went through such. He collapsed in the Champions League match against Valencia, and similar situation as well that happened to Eriksen, and he's back playing football. So who knows? That's why he's given this verdict that we should take it easy, because Danny Blind has suggested that Christian Eriksen could play football at top level once again following the cardiac arrest he suffered on the pitch last weekend. But football, like they say, it goes, like they say in football, anything is possible, and we all hope to see Eriksen back on the field of play doing what he knows how to do best. But Danny Blind gave a parting shot. He said that Eriksen he needs to trust the advice of his doctors and the ICD device that will monitor his heart. So there was some parting shots there that Danny Blind gave, because he was able to play does not really mean that Eriksen too will be able to play. But we all wish Eriksen a speedy recovery, and we all hope everything goes well and everything ends up well with him, so he comes back to the field of play to give us, to play football that he loves doing. So we move straight. Like I said, we're going to talk about the off the field issue that came up during the week, the pressers, Ronaldo's press conference, and also Paul Pogba's press conference. We saw all what happened. I don't need to go into details. Having 2 bottles of Coke in front of him, and he having to take those bottles off and saying he prefers water. Yes, Ronaldo is in his right to do that, but the bone of contention here is, we saw the news that came up that after Ronaldo did that, after Cristiano Ronaldo's snub wipes billions of Coca-Cola's market value away. And quoting the Guardian here, says soft drinks company's share price dropped by 1.6% after what Cristiano Ronaldo did at the press conference before the Hungary game. And the question here is, okay, we saw the same thing that Pogba did, taking the Heineken bottle away from the table, putting it underneath the table, and leaving the Coca-Cola bottle and also the water bottle he wasn't requesting for or saying this thing because he's a Muslim, and he believes within his Islamic rights that alcohol is not good. But going back to Ronaldo's incidents, for me, I just feel these players, they need to understand something. I know I am not a professional footballer, but I watch football and I talk about football a lot, and that's why I'm here doing this. They should understand that, first off, Pogba, Cristiano Ronaldo, they are internationally known. They are international stars. See, I wish I could just have a quarter of their fame just for me to be known around the world. In a 0.25% that Pogba and Cristiano Ronaldo is being known, it's all good for me. I'm not taking anything away from them. I'm not taking anything away from their football brilliance, from what they do off and on the pitch. But the press conference, I'm reacting to what happened, and I'm entitled to my own opinion. You guys could drop a comment and just, you could also you could say yours as well. Drop a comment, react to whatever happened. You can also counter my opinion, which is fine. I feel these footballers need to understand something, that this sponsors, these guys, Coca-Cola, Heineken, they sponsor these events. So definitely, whether they like it or not, this is part of the business. This is part of what happens behind the scenes. This is what they do. They need to put their brand out there for people to see, because they are part and parcel of the competition. They sponsored the competition. This match, the France played against Germany, Pogba received the Man of the Match award, sponsored by Heineken, sorry. So why didn't you say because Heineken is an alcoholic brand, I don't want to receive the Man of the Match award? She understands. So I just feel it's hypocritical for you to take the brand away on the table at the press conference, and at the end you still receive the Man of the Match award. So I feel it's kind of like hypocritical. And also Ronaldo, I don't know if he has any affiliation with Coca-Cola, I don't know, but he is playing in a competition that is being sponsored by this brand. So I just feel FAs or club, or FAs most especially, need to talk to these guys that you need to respect the contract that have been put in front of you guys in terms of coming into the competition, partaking in this competition, and these brands are sponsors of these competitions. So having to do all that theatrics, and also we heard Coca-Cola's shares dropping. The question is, why didn't we hear about Heineken's shares drop? Is it that people don't take alcohol? Or is it that the alcoholic shares are not being monitored? I need someone to answer that question. For me personally, I don't take alcohol for personal reasons, but it doesn't mean if Heineken want to sponsor FootyWit podcast, I wouldn't say yes. I'm going to grab it with both hands and I'm going to run with it. So for me, you guys are good at what you're doing in terms of football. You give us the joy watching you guys play, but come on, stop all these antics, stop all these theatrics, man. Do your presser, answer the question, and move on. I don't know, my personal opinion, I could be I'm open for counter opinions. I'm a fan of Ronaldo and I'm a fan of Pogba as well, but doesn't mean I'm not going to criticize them and this that they've done. We've heard so many reviews on what happened, but me, I'm just reacting to it. So it's left for listeners, counter react, and let's hear your opinion about it. But that said, just my personal opinion. Okay, so moving on straight to the Three Lions, England. The question is, it baffles me that with the whole plethora of players that Gareth Southgate has in his arsenal, or has within his domain, because looking at this England squad is full of players that you could also beat your chest to say this is the best squad England has ever paraded at any competition. And it baffles me that after 2 games, England have only scored 1 goal in the period of 180 minutes. Eriksen, I don't know if it was a joint top scorer in the EPL. I think it was Mohamed Salah. So Eriksen, second highest goal scorer in the EPL, over 20 goals, has not scored in this competition. You have the likes of Sancho, you have the likes of Grealish, you have the likes of Phil Foden, that had a fantastic season with Manchester City, and you have the likes of what's it called in midfield? This other guy, what's his name? The guy in Dortmund, Bellingham. You have Marcus Rashford. You have Harry Kane, I mentioned before, and you have Jadon Sancho. You have, I could go on and on and on, and it baffles me that Gareth Southgate have not been able to make anything out of this English team. And right now they sit 4 points in their group, and in their group, England, Croatia, Scotland, and Czech Republic. I'm not going to take anything away from Scotland because it was a good performance from them. We know this history between both countries, and they just have to give it a go. And you could see that they were celebrating after nicking a point. It wasn't as if they got 3 points. They just nicked a point against England, and they were celebrating as if they got 3 points, which serves back to the history between the two countries. But the question here is, why has Southgate not been able to make the best out of this English team? The question keeps, and you saw the fans booing them after the game, and you see Harry Kane coming out taking responsibility and saying yes, they've not done well, and he hopes they do better in their last game against Czech Republic. And the Czech Republic, the Czechs, they are no pushovers. We saw what they did to Scotland 2-0, and we saw the impressive performance they had against Croatia as well. So they are no pushovers, and it's beginning to look like England will just have to do a whole lot of work on that last day, because it is not going to be easy. Really, it isn't. It's not going to be easy for England. I'm trying to put up the I'm trying to put up the group right now just to see the different points between both teams and when they will be playing. So Gareth Southgate really am I permitted to say he's out of his depth? If I say that will be too harsh, because looking at what he has done ever since he took over England, the England squad, the Three Lions, he's been able to perform well. So it will be too bad, or it will be too harsh if I say, is he out of his depth? But like they say in football, result is what defines a manager's performance. When you want to see how well the manager has done, look at the previous result or look at the last result. So is it good to say that Gareth Southgate is getting the best out of this English squad? Because the question is, I love to watch the English team and I want them to do well in this competition. I have a bit of a problem with his formation. I have a bit of a problem, and I think Alan Shearer shares my opinion, because he had a piece on BBC Sports saying what England needs to change against Czech Republic. And reading in the whole article, he said here that Gareth Southgate don't need 2 holding midfielders against Czech Republic. And I think he's right, because I was having a discussion with someone over the week after the Scotland game, and I said, why do you need Kevin Phillips and Declan Rice in the same midfield, where you need to have a goal at your opponent? One, you're home. Yes, I know you're trying to protect, you don't want to concede any goal, you're trying to play a balanced style of football, but one way or the other, you just need to have a go at the opponent. You're blessed. Sterling from the left, Phil Foden from the right, possibly you could drop Kevin Phillips and bring in someone like a Jack Grealish, or you bring in Jordan Sancho to add to the attack. Declan Rice does it well for West Ham United, covering, shielding the defense and also attacking. He has that box-to-box ability as well. So why don't you just shake things up? Shake things up a bit. We'd love to see the English squad do something or qualify from this group stage into the next round, also competing to win. We want this. We want it to come back home. Bring it home, man. Looking at Alan Shearer's article here, you could just check it out. We've not gotten the best out of Kane, and Kane has not really done well. It was quiet in the first game, and also the second game as well. We didn't really see much of him, but we just hope Gareth Southgate tweak things, because the last game of the group against Czech Republic is a determinant of England qualifying for the next round. And those Czech Republic guys, they are good. They are coordinated. They have everything going for them, from defense to the midfield to the attack. I think the right back plays West Ham, and they have a midfielder as well that plays with West Ham, and also the number 10 guy has scored a wonderful goal against Scotland. So Gareth Southgate, I don't really want to go into the analysis talking football, because going into the technical analysis, because I'm the only one today, so it shouldn't look as if I'm driving my opinion all alone. I would have wished the other guys were here for us to have just dissect and talk about the English squad, get different opinion. Because if I keep going into the technical analysis, look as if I'm putting my opinion on the listeners. But like I said, you could drop a comment on this video and just say what you feel Gareth Southgate needs to do or needs to change in the last game against Czech Republic. I'm going to be all out looking at that game. I want to see what Gareth Southgate needs to do. I want to see what it's going to turn out. I want to see the starting lineup. I want to see if there's going to be a tweak, because you have a Jordan Sancho, for goodness sake. You have a Jack Grealish. Yeah, I know Saka is injured, Saka of Arsenal, but those are guys that can, turn the screw around, turn the table around when things are not working. Just spill up that magic. Jack Grealish came in the last game. He tried his best, but his best wasn't good enough. But what if he had started? Possibly there could be a change. Who knows? Yeah, so it is what it is. So we just hope Gareth Southgate do the work. In England's last game against Czech Republic, and we hope the Three Lions qualify to the next round. So from the last episode we had, on the episode 1, a lot of matches had gone down. On Tuesday we saw Hungary losing to Portugal 3-0, France defeating Germany, and also Wednesday we saw Turkey losing to Wales, and Italy demolishing Switzerland 3-0, making or stamping the qualification route as leaders in that group, and also Russia defeating Finland, and also Denmark losing to Belgium picking up another 3 points at 6 points, qualifying for the next round, and Ukraine defeating North Macedonia, and Netherlands defeating Austria, another 6 points for the Netherlands, impressive. And also on Friday we saw Croatia, Czech Republic 1-1, sharing the spoils, in England, like we mentioned, sharing the spoils also with Scotland 0-0, leaving that group open. Czech Republic win and a Scotland win puts England, the Three Lions, in a dire straits, man, and we don't want to see that. And also Sweden defeating Slovakia 1-0, and also on Saturday, the game of all games, we saw Portugal Germany. I'm going to touch light on that game. That game had a lot of a lot written up about that game before the game kicked off. The press conference from Ronaldo having to play after that time, though he played against Hungary, scoring 2 goals, and Ronaldo chasing the record of having to usurp the other guy, the 109 goals record for country, and scoring first. Fantastic goal from Portugal. Counter, we saw Ronaldo clearing the lines during the corner kick for Germany, and also sprinting to ensure he scores, which he did. And we saw Germany started on the front foot, put a lot of pressure on Portugal, and they conceded. But one thing I love about the Germans, you can never write off the Germans, the dear Mannschaft. You can never write them off. So lethargic in the first game against France, which they lost 1-0, and they had to come out. They know this was a deal or bust. They had to win this to ensure they're still part of the competition, which they did impressively. You know, the formation, the wing backs, the three at the back and the wing backs, Portugal just didn't have answer to the two guys, Kimmich and the guy that scored, that played the left back, I've forgotten his name. Portugal had no answer for that formation, and Germany went all out and scored 4 after conceding 1. Though Portugal scored, you know, 1 after that, a goal from Diego Jota, you know, reducing the goal difference to 2, which made it 4-2, and the game ended 4-2. But it was impressive from Germany, and that sees them, you know, going against what's the name, Hungary, and when I say France, Portugal. You know, that group has been tagged the group of death. So anybody that qualifies from that group right now, Hungary has a point, Portugal has 3 points, France has 4 points, and Germany has 3 points. So Portugal winning France, France winning Portugal, either could go through. Germany will go at Hungary, man. They will go at Hungary. So that makes that group interesting. And we're going to see also a lot of fixtures coming up. We saw what happened today. Italy, you know, 9 points without conceding. That's 29 games unbeaten for the Mancini, for Mancini and his men. And also not conceding in the last 10 games. Impressive. Switzerland, like I mentioned earlier, defeated Turkey. Not impressed with Turkey because they were like kind of, they had a squad that could do something in this Euros, and not winning a game is kind of like disappointing. And tomorrow we get to see Finland, Belgium, and also Russia, Denmark, North Macedonia, Netherlands. Netherlands have qualified. I think they will just rest players like the Azzurri did today. You know, just trying to chop and change a bit and rest a bit of players, rest their legs for the second round. Ukraine, Austria, they're going to slug it out. And on Tuesday, we have Croatia, Scotland, and also Czech Republic, versus England. Also, on Wednesday, Slovakia, Spain, Sweden, Poland, Germany, Hungary, Portugal, France. Out of all these fixtures, the fixtures that I have so much keen interest in are Portugal, France, and also Czech Republic, England. Those are just the games that I have keen interest in. On Wednesday, Portugal, France. I'll watch out for that group. I know Germany's going to beat Hungary. With all due respect to Hungary, Germany will roll over Hungary. They will. They will pick the 3 points. They will pick the 3 points. They might not, even if they don't win, they'll pick a point. And 4 points is good enough for qualification. Portugal, France, my eyes is on that game. And also Spain too. I've not mentioned Spain. They're one of the powerhouses. They had to draw against Poland yesterday. 1 point after 2 games. Is that another team we need to criticize in terms of performance? With the plethora of players that they have, Luis Enrique have in stock, not too good, man. There was a narrative about him, like not picking any Real Madrid players. And this squad, are they given what he wants or what people expect from the Spanish national team? That's a big question to ask. They'll have to face Slovakia, slot it out against them, and see what happens. So this is just the games. Czech Republic against England and Portugal, France. My eyes, I'll be so keen on those games. Just to look out for those matches. They'll be interesting, and I know you guys are going to watch it. It's been a long journey. 30 minutes of doing this alone. I think it's interesting, kind of like interesting. But like you all know, we're on social media platform. It's been nice doing this alone on this show. We're on social media platform. Check us out. For our followers outside Nigeria, you can check our Twitter account, because you all know the ban restriction on Twitter in Nigeria, where we stream from or where we're located. So If you're outside Nigeria and you're following us, you can check our Twitter page and also check our Instagram page as well. You'll love some interesting posts we put there. Please like, follow us, and just share some of our content. And also our podcast, we air them on this other platforms: Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast as well. Recently we just enlisted Apple Podcast. Sorry it's not on the screen right now, but you can also check us out there, FootyWit. You see us. And also our YouTube channel. We're trying to grow our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Please, we'd like you guys to subscribe, and also like and share our videos. Drop your comments on some of the analysis we make. If you think that you could counter us, we'll reply. It's football. We love talking about football. The spirit football brings. We saw what happened in the match against Belgium, and was it Belgium-Denmark? Yeah, Belgium-Denmark, where they had to do that. You know that's a minute applause for Christian Eriksen. This is what football brings all of us together. It's like an ecosystem. It makes us like being a small village because we love football. So therefore, we ask and we enjoy you. Just follow us on our YouTube channel. You could also subscribe and also share some of our content. For me here on FootyWit Football Gist Euro 2020 episode 2, Euro 2020 review episode 2. Have a nice week and stay blessed.